Well, hello, everybody. This is your host, Valerie Kinnae, with How to Live and Thrive in the Rich Flow of Life. Today, I am so pleased and honored to welcome our featured guest. He's no stranger here. In fact, he's becoming a regular. His name is Dan Christian. Dan is the award-winning author of the book, Dealership Deceit. It's about how to buy your next car for way less money than you could imagine. Dan is the master teacher and trainer of these highly innovative techniques that he has used himself for over a decade developing, and now he shares them with you so that you may purchase your next vehicle for as close to dealership invoice or wholesale price as possible. Wow, you guys. On this call, he is going to tell us in detail the true dealership method. Oh, yes. And he's also promised and committed to me that he's going to give us 3 hot tips. Isn't that right, Dan? And welcome, Dan.
Yeah, that's right, Valerie. Well, thank you for that introduction, and thanks for giving me the chance to chat with you and your listeners again.
Awesome.
Wow, that's, again, a really humbling introduction. Okay, so get right down to business.
Tell us all about this true dealership method. I can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah, for sure. So last time we talked, I started to talk about how leaving a deposit with the dealership is a way that you can get the dealership to lower their asking price. Mm-hmm. It's not so much leaving the deposit that lowers their asking price, it's the process of asking for it back. So, so when you leave a deposit, when you leave a deposit with the dealership, what happens is the dealership thinks in their minds and in their paperwork actually that you've pretty much bought the car. When you ask for your deposit back, they're not so easy, or it's not so easy for them to just give it back to you. They're kind of scared that they're losing out on a sale, so they'd rather give you a more incentive, like a lower price, or they'd rather throw in more free stuff and have you maybe consider that than just straight up give you your deposit back.
Okay.
So this is called the 2 dealership method, and as you can probably guess, that's because it involves more than one dealership. So what I suggest is go to one dealership, leave a deposit, and then have a reason, like just make up a reason that you need to leave and you need to go somewhere, like you need to pick up your kids, or you have an appointment, you have a date, and then when you leave the dealership, actually go to another one. Go to a second dealership and tell them what you have going with the first dealership and ask if they can do better. Yeah, and ask if they can do better than what you have going with the first dealership. Knowing how dealerships and salespeople operate, of course they can do better because they want your business, right? So what you do is you go through the negotiation with them. You say, I'll leave a deposit, please hold my car, and I'm going to go back to the other dealership and get my money back.
Wow.
So when you leave the second dealership, you drive back over to the first dealership to ask for your money back because you have a better deal with the second dealership. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to give you an even better price. They're going to try being the second dealership. And then what you do is you go back and forth 3 or 4 times until the prices of the deals don't get much better. And then once you're at that point, then you've gotten the price lower than you could have ever done if you've just negotiated only with one dealership.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That is some savvy practicing there to do, Dan. I'm just wondering, when you go off to the second dealership, are you actually taking a copy of your contract with you, or will they not give you that to go off the lot?
I think it's, and that's a pretty good question. Sometimes they won't give you a copy of the contract. The contract's not finalized, so there's only one form they're using. But what I do suggest is you take a photo with your phone intermittently, when you're negotiating. So if the second dealership doesn't believe that you have this price, then you can just open your phone and then show them.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So that's the two dealership method.
Right.
And so what else do we need to know about that method in order for us to be, a very savvy user of it? Is there any language, that we need to drop words like dealership talk type language? Is there any such thing as that exists in the world of cars?
For this method, there are a couple of things you do need to be aware of, and the first word is the word haggle. So dealerships are aware that consumers do not really like negotiating with the dealership. They feel really intimidated or they feel scared. So they're not going to get the best price possible. So there are dealerships that are starting to become no haggle dealerships. So with these dealerships, the prices that are on their website or listed on the cars themselves are the final price. You can't negotiate the price down with them. So you need to make sure, you're at a dealership which actually allows you to haggle with them.
And how would we know which one is which?
You'll know pretty much right away when you start talking to them. If they come out right and say this is a dealership where the prices that are listed are actually final, and none of our cars we can't legally, or our manager won't allow us to lower any of the prices. This is the way the dealership's set up. Then you'll know that it's a no haggle dealership.
Okay, that's how we would know.
Yeah, and they're not so popular in Canada, but there's quite a few dealerships in the States which are set up this way. Have you ever heard of Tesla?
I have not. Tell us about it.
Yeah, okay. Tesla is a new company that came out with a new electric car. They have a lot of innovation going on with their cars that they're selling. They've also have a lot of innovation with the business model they're using. So Tesla dealerships, they're not franchised. They're not owned by a person. They're actually owned by Tesla. Everyone's owned by the corporation. So with a Tesla dealership, you don't actually negotiate with them. You buy the car online, and the purchase price of the car, or the price of the car itself, is final. So there's not much negotiation you can do. But what that happens with that is consumers feel comfortable with the price that they're getting because that is the best possible price for a new Tesla.
Oh, cool. And so what made Tesla such a hot commodity these days?
Well, Tesla is a really high-end car. So I think next year Tesla is going to come out with a more affordable $40,000 version of the car, if you can call that affordable. Yeah, but right now a Tesla will cost you around $100,000. But they're a fully electric car. Yeah, they have very, very, very fancy features. Yeah, they have the latest technology, and and the way they set up their hybrid system, if you go to certain gas stations, they actually have charging stations set up for Teslas specifically. So you just drive right in and plug your car to it.
Awesome. Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Dan, that's why I love talking to you, because you're so up to date with the hottest and latest, greatest information in this industry. I mean, you're just the best at what you do. And that's why we have you here all the time. And so I promised that we were going to give those 3 hot tips. So please give them to us. I can hardly wait.
Okay. Yeah. So, I'll do that right away. These are really simple things that you can do even right now if you're in the process of negotiation. The first tip is the up to question. So when you enter a dealership and you talk to a salesperson, usually the salesperson is going to ask you what your budget is. Even if you're going to pay all cash or you have your own financing, they like to figure out how much you want to pay on a monthly or biweekly basis. They just want you to give them a number. So let's say you answer the number. Let's say that you're willing to pay $250 a month. Salespeople will like to ask the question up to. The reason they ask that is because they know a lot of people will give them a slightly higher number. Let's just say, for this case, $300 a month. So you just give a number $50 higher a month, or $50 higher a month, because the salesperson asked you. What happened, though, is if this is a monthly payment that you're looking at, over the span of 5 years, $50 a month is actually $3,000 extra or $3,000 more that you're ending up paying for your car.
I
So, yeah, when the
Mm-hmm.
salesperson, or when you're actually negotiating on a monthly payment basis, when the salesperson asks you the question up to, don't answer the question. Stay where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Then
and
what would we say when they ask the question? Then what do we say?
just tell them the previous number that you gave is that's your budget. That's the most you can afford.
Okay.
So if you're at $250 and they say up to, just say, no,
Mm-hmm.
I need to stay at $250.
All right. I need to stay there. Okay.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. All
And then
right.
the second tip's actually pretty related to the first tip. It's
Mm-hmm.
negotiate on the purchase price, not the monthly or biweekly payment. The reason why dealerships love to negotiate on monthly payments is because they're smaller, like a monthly payment is smaller than the total purchase price. So
Mm-hmm.
it's easier for them to add just a couple dollars to the monthly payment. However, as I explained, if you add just a couple dollars to a monthly payment plan which spans years, then that increases the total purchase price of the car, if not a couple $100, a couple $1,000.
Wow.
So, yeah, your $25,000 car could become $29,000 just by adding like $20 to $30 a month. So,
I see.
in order to prevent the purchase price of the car jumping up by that much, it's best for you to negotiate on the total purchase price, not the monthly payment.
I understand. On the total purchase price, not on the monthly. That is key.
Exactly.
Okay,
That is very key.
Cool. I never, ever knew that. Yeah, that is an invaluable tip right there in itself without anything else. That one will save me a lot of money.
Thanks, Valerie. I'm glad I have to tell people that.
Yeah, because we just don't know. You know, you don't know what you don't know until you have a pro to navigate you through the whole ins and outs of any industry. So that's why you always need a professional to tell you, you know, and when you're the author of the book, Dealership Deceit, and when you have the author, that makes all the difference in the world also. So thank you again for writing the book. And what is your next tip then? Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for that, Valerie. The last tip is when you agree to a purchase price on the floor and when you're led into the finance and insurance office, decline as much, if not everything that they offer you. There's a very good chance that you can get any of the upgrades that they offer you on your own. And that's going to lead to the question, won't having something done to my car outside of the dealership void my warranty?
Okay.
So let's say that they offer you an extra in-dash navigation system in the finance and insurance office, or they offer window tinting. I'm telling you to say no because there's a very, very good chance that you can have that stuff done yourself on the car for much cheaper than they would be offering it to you. But that leads to the question, won't that void my warranty? And the answer is, it's actually not as cut and dry as you would think. It's not, yes, it'll void my warranty. The answer is read the warranty, but there's a very good chance that the only part of the warranty which will be affected is the parts that are needed to have this upgrade installed. So let's say that we're talking about window tinting. If you have window tinting done outside of the dealership, that's not going to void your powertrain warranty. And I talk to people, and people are kind of scared that it does. Like, it'll void their engine warranty, their powertrain warranty, but no, it doesn't. And what I would like to do actually sometimes is ask them, not with the salesperson, but ask them, like, at another time, what place or what body shop do they use to tint the windows or have this installation done? Because a lot of these installations don't actually get done at the dealership. They get sent off somewhere else to get done.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So I think at least that it would be much cheaper for you just to drive the car yourself to the installation place and have that done, and you pay them directly rather than do it through the dealership.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Are they at liberal to give up that kind of information, though, Dan? I mean, are they quick to give that up to you?
Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. If they know you're in negotiation with them directly to buy the car, then they won't be so open to that. But if you go to the dealership at another time and ask someone else, or even ask someone in the parts department, you're saying just out of curiosity where do you send the cars to, then they're more open to answering the question. But actually, you can, as long as it's a professional business, like you look at the ratings on Better Business Bureau, or you do some background checks on them and make sure they've been in business for a long time and they can actually guarantee their work, then you can almost bring it to any business that does that upgrade kind of work. So that does stereo installations or window tinting.
And boy, that is amazing.
Yeah.
You really arm us. You really pack us up with the right tips and information. I mean, you just feel so armed with ammunition as you go into these dealerships. You're not just going in empty-minded, empty-handed without the tools in your psyche to, make it all possible for you so you can get that price down, like you say, as close to wholesale price as possible. And that's the whole goal, is to save your money and get the best possible deal.
Right, and that's actually a really good point. The point of the first part of the book, and you're trying to get the car to as close to wholesale or invoice as possible, but once you're in the finance and insurance office, you need to stay as close as possible to that. So it's not just get there, it's stay there. It's a really good tip, Valerie. Or it's a really good insight, Valerie.
Well, thank you.
Wow.
Well, so you've heard it from Dan, the award-winning author of Dealership Deceit. He shared with us the 2 dealership method and some hot tips. Dan, are there any final closing thoughts for this call?
Yeah, a couple. First of all, be confident when you approach the dealership. Don't let them make you think that. Don't let them make you feel bad about asking for a better price or for asking more for your money. You have the right to walk out at any point until you give them money and they give you keys. Even if you're right before signing that very final purchase agreement, you have that right to leave, and don't be afraid to do it.
Wow.
Also, I have many other great tips for free on my website at www.dealershipdeceit.com. And I encourage people just to go there, just to download this free report I have. It's the 7 ways dealerships overcharge you or overcharge other people without them noticing.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Christian. As always, it is a pleasure, and I greatly appreciate you coming. I don't take your time lightly to share everything you know about dealership deceit. The days is over where the consumer has to be taken advantage of. All you have to do is get a copy of Dan's book, Dealership Deceit, and learn everything you need to know. And on the last call, he even offered, upon contingency, that he does some consultation and even shows up at dealerships. That you have to take up with him, right, Dan?
Yeah, that's correct, but I do offer that service for sure. Thanks,
Very
Valerie.
cool. Yeah. So this concludes tonight's call, and I'd like to end with saying I love you dearly, and it's always a pleasure, Dan.
Well,
Goodbye.
I love you too, Valerie, and I'm really glad I had the chance to have a chat with you.
No problem. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Valerie.
Okay.